Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Motorsport for some more multiplayer racing, and this time we were messing around with some extreme tyre wear. So the tyre wear was on 10 times. It's very, very silly, but because we try and do sort of shorter races here, it means that tyre strategy is a real concern, and everyone had to be on race tyres, so you were going to have to be pitting at least once. The vehicles were A-class. For this one, it was fairly open, except for there was a minimum weight requirement. The vehicles had to weigh at least 2,800 pounds. The reason being is that basically with the tyre wear, light cars are generally or almost always better. So by this, it forces you to use a slightly different vehicle, and it makes more options viable. I would opt to try and run an older Porsche 911. For our first race, we head to Brands Hatch. Now, we're a long way back on the grid. This is going to make life, it does make life difficult for us. We will see what the Porsche can do. Of course, rear engine is going to help it get off the line. Tyre-wise, not really sure. We're starting on the mediums. It gives us the most flexibility here as to what we are going to, how we're going to approach this. Medium is probably what we're looking at doing here. Maybe medium soft if we're feeling really brave. I think this car will chew through its tyres too quickly for that to realistically be a viable option. But we'll see. We'll see. If we can get to the end of lap 4 with our tyres in decent condition, then maybe you could survive 3 laps on softs. But if the tyres are dying by the end of lap 4 on mediums, we're probably not going to be able to make 3 laps with softs. It's sort of what I'm going for here. Ewan got a little bit crossed up there, and we are going to make the most of our opportunity. We've been side by side with Liam for a little while. It's been a solid start, really, for us here as we head down the back stretch. We'll go side by side with Liam's BMW. Now, big plus point for the Porsche here. Part of the reason why I picked it, it has got a lot of rear end grip, got very big rear tyres, which thankfully do not spin up all that much, which should help me with rear tyre wear. Not that that is the biggest concern at Brands Hatch. The cornering around here is, pretty, I say extreme, but it's going to be front tyre wear here. I think Scotty just got a bit of oversteer mid-corner, and that's all it took to just hook the front of our car and dump us off the track. It's always a risk going around the outside of somebody like that, and it was just did not quite work. That's unfortunate. Frustrating and unfortunate. What are we looking at? 15%, 16% on the front left. Ooh. Whatever we end up going for tyre-wise, we're going for a 4-lap stint first, I think. You could try the undercut, go for the 3-lap stint, get fresh tyres, and then have terrible tyres for the end of the race. That is one way to do it. I guess we're going to try and see what I don't know. We're making the strategy up a little bit on the fly here. We're going to get to the inside of Ewan, who struggles to get that car stopped and turned. We are going to get another good exit out here, and we should pass the Camaro. I think Ewan might have found their way onto the grass. Impega's had an adventure up ahead with the muscle car. If we were doing 15% tyre wear a lap, that's not too bad. 50% tyre wear a lap, so you're probably looking, I don't think you're going to get 3 laps out of a set of softs around here. I don't know. Well, some cars might. Some people might brave it. I'm not sure we are going to be one such person in the Porsche, but we will see what we can do. Having had a little adventure off the circuit, we lost a bit of time. The plus point for us is, well, we aren't actually fighting anybody at this moment in time. We are able to run at our pace. We will probably catch this group at some point. Anybody diving in now? No. That would probably be, if there were cars diving in now, that would suggest to me that they are running on soft tyres. Nobody has. There was contact up ahead. That has sent Longbow off. Did not see what started it. I just saw Longbow going left into a right-hander. So there was a little clip on the rear at some point there that fired that car off the track. We are up to 13th place. We are now trying to find a way past Stevie here. With similar colours, to be fair. I respect the choice of colours. Wonderful choice of colours in this one. My Porsche should be pretty good here. It is a very much a handling car. This is the sort of track that it would like. It's not got great straight line speed. but thankfully, you know, Brands Hatch doesn't have a lot of straight lines. 40%. Ooh. See, that does beg the question. Could you really extend to the end of lap 5 and go for the manic sprint on softs? So it's going to be interesting to see who bails in this lap. You go in this lap, you go for the undercut, right? But you'll struggle at the end of the race. Go in next lap, you'll potentially have an iffy end to lap 4, or I say you potentially have an iffy end to lap 4. That is if you're going to be having an iffy end to lap 4 and Pegga's turn to find themselves out wide onto the grass. Not quite going to be able to profit from that one against the Mustang. The Carlton's coming in. A couple of cars up ahead. Few vehicles have bailed in. M3 as well has gone in for that. I think a Porsche did too. Yeah, okay. We're definitely not going for the soft tyres at the end of this one. We are going to have a slightly hurting lap 4 and then be good till the end of the race, in theory. So cars are going to start dying on their tyres right about now. There may be some vehicles that are running hards. I don't know if anybody would try it. You could try the hard-soft strategy. You could do that with a grid spot, maybe. Not for me. Well, not that we know, of course. It's a randomised grid, so you don't know when you go. But if you start at the front with hard tyres in a race like this, you might be able to just hold on long enough and make it work. I think Impegga's really struggling on those tyres now. We were carrying a lot of speed through that section, and Impegga just simply couldn't. I know my car is a bit more handling based, but yeah, we were carrying a huge amount of speed there. We'll try and get slowed down. So yeah, this part of the lap sucks. Now the cars are really hurting. Those cars that pitted are going to have a very fast outlap compared to our in-lap. Impegga's struggling. Impegga's out very wide. Stevie's going to get both of us. I had to have a big lift because I wasn't quite sure where the Mustang was going to go. I think my car is hurting more than the Corvette at the moment. This is, getting dicey at the moment. I can't believe I find myself in the Porsche battling two American, well, one muscle car, one sports car. The tyres are shot. The tyres are shot to pieces for us here. We are going to desperately try and get the vehicle turned in, and we do. Right, we make it into the pits. The good news for us is our tyres will be good till the end. Now, will somebody try and make it... Will anyone have... I wouldn't have thought you'd get away with softs here, but you never know. Someone with a car more gentle on tyres might go for it. We will cruise into the pit stop to the world's glitchiest pit stop you could imagine. Glitchy, but very fast. Like, very fast to do four wheels on a random 911 road car. It's a big gaggle of cars. So I saw Javi's vehicle come out, and there you see Scotty with the Carlton. Now that is important, because that is the vehicle that we were kind of behind as it dove into the pits. So the undercut has been quite powerful for them. They've had that lap on their own, where they've been able to, where they've been relatively quiet, where they've been able to put the power down, and we've all been struggling on our tyres. Now, that will in theory come back to us. The final lap of the race will potentially be agony for them cars, less so for us. Stevie's gone very deep through here. We will try and make the most of this opportunity, can't quite. The silver, I think it's a Killy, I'm not sure what it is. I wanted to say it was a Porsche, but I'm not 100% sure. Found itself off the circuit, and Pegga's got loads of straight line speed, but you're not going to be able to make a move stick there. I've got a crap ton of grip now all of a sudden. We're going to try and make a move stick on the Corvette. I want to get past, and I want to get out of the way in this one. I want to let those two have their own battles. Let them fight each other. Seems like a good idea to me. We will bobble the curbs a little bit through there. Now, I just need to have a good half a lap where I don't have to worry about defending. I don't think I'm going to get it, mind you, but yeah, we have got a Corvette looking. Oh, don't need to do that. Those sort of moments not going to help. We're going to sort of get across. In all of this, we've lost a little bit of time to the leaders. We're not amazingly far behind Ollie and everyone, but we are just having our own little battle here that is not going to help get us towards the front. It's a very fun little race we've found ourselves in. Impegga's going to have a look to the inside. Now, Impegga might be able to get the pass done on the Corvette through all of that. I'm trying to make the most. Now, Killy is likely to struggle. We've got a couple of laps to go, so we think that tyres are going to fall apart by the end of next lap. We think Scotty might struggle. I think Scotty's far enough away, to be honest. I think Scotty's far enough away that it's unlikely to fall back enough for us to catch in this, which is I say unfortunate for me. Is whether we can get a top 10 here. Whether we can get top 10. But it is also whether anybody else's tyres do fall apart in the closing stages of this one. It is possible. We are driving the wheels off the car. Well, I'm pushing this car as much as I can. I'm not sure it is all that fast. From the back of the grid, it's always difficult, but I have had better races. I have sort of climbed up through the field better than this in the past. But yeah, we will, I guess, see how this all pans out. One more time around. How will that Porsche ahead of us fare? Well, with a lot of understeer. That's the power of the commentator's curse right there. We have, we have passed it. We do now have our 10th place as we barrel into the first corner. It now becomes a question of, will Scotty's tyres fall apart? I mean, if they do, it's some... 4 seconds down the road, it's unlikely I'm going to be able to catch it, although you lose a lot of time. When the tyres have cried enough, you lose a good chunk of time in this one. Come on, be aware of Impega. I mean, there's immense straight line speed in that car that we've got to be very, very careful of. I'm looking at the tyre wear, thinking, could you have got away with running softs for these 3 laps? I just don't think I don't think my car could have done. Someone's car might have been able to. I just don't think mine... Certainly not like this. The mine couldn't have done it. There's a big group of cars. Carlton, I would love to have been in that battle. Looks like the Carltons just ran wide. I think the tyres might be finally giving up on the big Lotus. No, it's still there. Yeah, the undercut was kind of the way to go. If you can keep it together, that was sort of the way to go on this one. I mean, we've had a fun race. I'm turning way too soon through there. Oh. There is problems for Shadow. Shadow straight on down there, which is not going to help. I don't quite know. It's an unusual accident right there for Shadow. Shadow's tyres completely given up? Potentially? No, it doesn't look like it. It just looks like went straight on in the braking zone, whether maybe there's a wheel on the grass. Either way, we're going to chase the turbo towards the line, but we can't beat it. It's a 10th place for us. I mean, yeah, we move up through the grid. Me and Impega charged our way up through the grid. I just didn't really have the pace. Like the 34 zeros, we were all right. We just did not. We certainly didn't have the pace of the top 3. They were just far too fast for us to get near. Yeah, not a great spot on the grid. Did make it difficult. A little contact didn't help. So, yeah, who knows quite where we could have gone. However, we did have a very good fun race with Impega and Stevie. So, that was quite something. Yeah. I'd say a bit of an average finish, but an enjoyable battle along the way. For our second race, we head to Silverstone. A slightly drizzly Silverstone, but don't worry, we're all still on slicks. There is an idea forming for me. I don't know whether this is going to work. So it appears, although I'm not completely sure, but it appears as if the drizzle maybe helps keep the tyres a little bit cooler and maybe doesn't shred them as fast. So I am going for a bit of a brave strategy. As you will notice, my car is on soft tyres. Now, this is a 5-lap race. It's not a crazy long race, and Silverstone is probably not the worst track. It's not the worst track in the world on tyres, but, it's going to be a little bit punishing. Anyway, my plan is a simple one. We are going to run soft at the start. We are going to pit at the end of lap 2, and then run mediums till the end. We get a little bit of the undercut benefit, in theory, by being on... by hopefully... pitting a lap earlier than others, and when they're struggling with their dying mediums at the end of lap 3, we will have a quick car. The only downside for this strategy is if the softs start giving up before the end of the... well, before the end of the 2 laps, and then we're likely to have mediums being a pain by the end of by the 5th lap. So, yeah, I don't know if this is a perfect strategy. It's a little bit of a gamble. I'm going to hazard a guess. There's a few of us have gone for this gamble. A lot of us have seen that the tyre wear isn't crazy here, even with the 10 times, although I think we may be about to regret that, possibly. I don't know. It's a big swing we're taking, but I think it's worth it. Maybe. There's a lot we just don't know at the moment, and that is part of the fun of it. We are coming. Oh, it's going to be like, yeah, the softs are going to really hurt by the end of this. I can't imagine. I think us top 4 have all gone softs. I can't imagine. If anyone here is making mediums go this fast, fair play. You will win the race. Like, you will win the race if you are making your mediums go this fast. Now, unfortunately, I was hoping others weren't going to have gone for this plan. Well, unfortunately, we have got ourselves caught. Now, Ruski's Skyline, traditionally all-wheel drive, not been particularly good. It has its moments, but it's not been particularly great in Forza. However, in the wet, especially in the wet with dying tyres, maybe that one will come into its own. Car guy's out a little bit wide through turn 1. Oh, there's contact between the Porsche and the Ford. The car guy was just trying to get it off the dirt, I think. It's a little bit of a dive bomb there from me. Probably don't want to light up the rear tyres at the moment if we can help it. Probably should be trying to conserve the tyres a little bit. There goes the Skyline trying to get on the power. You're not quite going to be able to make that one work. Right. There is a gap. There is a gap. Now, we know we're diving into the pits at the end of this lap. We know we're going to start hurting as well by the end of this lap. I was hoping the tyre wear was going to be a little bit nicer, but it's a big swing. I feel like we might have to take these big swings and hope for the best. It's been helped by a good spot on the grid. I was because it's a randomised grid. We don't know where we're starting on the grid. If I'd known, strategies would be different, this has worked perfectly. This is literally the perfect outcome for my strategy, is we start towards the front. We've managed to keep ourselves there with the soft tyres, and we're able to essentially run our own race, really. How are the hurting tyres on the Skyline, do we think? This section is going to be agony for the poor car. Once we've got through here, we only have the hanger straight to go, and I've forgotten the name of the corner at the end of it. Once we can get off of this straight, we've only got really one more corner to go, and then we're in the pits. So we are going to head to the pits with the lead of the race. Now, I'm pretty sure the medium-tired cars have started catching us. They've caught the little group. That little breakaway was very quick for a lap, but yeah, it is now coming to an end, really, as we leave the... Yeah, okay, we're like 60-something%. Okay, that's to be expected. We're going in. Ruski's going to dive in with us. Who else will follow us in? Yep, I was pretty much spot on. I think the top 4 all had the same idea. Me, Rusky, car guy, and I've forgotten the name. I think it was P1 something or other. Right, medium tyres, yes. The good news is, I don't think the medium's going to be really hurting for doing 3 laps. They should be fine with this. We come through the pits. Now, the Ford GT, we know, is a little bit quicker than us down the straight. There's a few other cars that bailed in further back. I don't know how Rusky has jumped me in the pit cycle. That feels wrong. The pit stops are weird and broken. Oh no, is he going to put the Porsche ahead? Yes, okay. We are going to pop out of all of this. We are in 11th. A bunch of cars further back have pitted as well. We haven't fallen as far back as I thought we were going to. Yeah, so us 4 are all on an identical strategy, and it actually kind of helped that we all started vaguely. It helped us massively that we started towards the front. Anyone else who did the soft tyre first may not have had such a good time. The good news as well for us is with a bunch of cars pitting, we've come out into lovely clean air. Like, this is great news for us. Everyone else is going to have to bail into the pits at the end of this lap. Coffee with a lot of understeer makes me think that car is about crying enough through all of this. Come on, Porsche, get turned in. Oh, took us a couple of goes at the throttle there to get it turned in. The Skyline now has got some real pace. Skyline has some real pace at the moment through the slow stuff. I'm hoping maybe if I get some tyre temperature in the Porsche, we might start getting somewhere with it. That Infinity is struggling like crazy. I want to clear it heading into Maggots and Beckett's. God, this is awkward. This is now not great, because this is going to cost me some time being stuck behind it. Hoping we can punch past it. Oh, it's going to put itself in a really awkward spot through all of that. Rusky did a good job of negotiating it. I'm wary of the Ford. Where is the Ford? It's too far back at the moment. I think Car Guy's Porsche, it's the same as mine, is going to be about the same speed down the straights. Here comes the Infiniti. It'll have a lot of straight line speed, but it's not going. I mean, it's not really in this race at the moment, that Infiniti. Now, a load of cars are going to dive into the pits, as we would expect. The big old train of them coming in. Now, of course, they are likely to go to softs. Some might go to mediums. I'm expecting to see them go to softs. Now, in theory, we are going to have a little bit of a gap. And in theory, while they will be quick for a lap, we know from experience they are going to be hurting by the end of the race. There's going to be a lot of converging strategies going on, but that's what we like here. Not sure who it is who has come out of the pits with the kind of lead of the alternative strategy, or probably the primary strategy. I don't really know. It looked like quite an even spread between ideas here. Brazen, of course it's Brazen, that has come out with that one. We will slide a little bit wide. Good news from me is Rusky is being kept busy for the moment. How are the tyres doing? 28%. Ooh, it's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting, I suspect, here. So this section here is, I say, probably where Rusky does quite well. These slow speed corners. Oh, and yeah, there, for example, where I just get little kicks of oversteer when we don't want it. Brazen is flying. But we know, so Brazen will fly. Brazen will be absolutely on fire for a lap and a half, and then the tyres are going to give up. And I'm hoping our tyres won't. I don't think they will. But yeah, we will have to wait and see how this pans out. The good news as well is track position. Track position is worked for us here. Car Guy is going to go side by side with the Skyline there as we head into Maggots and Beckett's. I don't know how my Porsche compares to Car Guy's. I mean, they're very similarly built. I think Car Guy's is a little faster down the straight. Mine is, in theory, a little better in the corners. But, you know, I say that is all a little academic, depending on... when they're in the slipstream, they're always going to be a little bit faster as well, which is going to help them. What we need to do is not fight each other a crazy amount. I'm braking way too early. I'm just not completely confident in my car at the moment, although we get off the corner quite nicely. Yeah, I mean, I'm not used to driving medium tyres. I don't often drive cars on mediums. We will get ourselves stopped. Car Guy has missed the braking point and gone wide through all of that one. That will... I mean, it both helps me and it puts Brazen a car closer to us. Brazen is still stuck behind Rusky. Rusky might actually make a really, really good rear gunner for us in this one. If we can get towards Maggots and Beckett's ahead of Brazen, I think the Golf will run out of tyres by that point. If Brazen gets ahead of us through this section where it's still got all the advantage of the softs, then we will have to try and find a way to repass, and Brazen's car is monstrously fast down a straight. He's not in the Golf. Maybe Brazen changed their car. Maybe they didn't like the Golf. It doesn't look like a Golf. I take it back. Brazen's in a Porsche of some kind. It might not be as monstrously fast down the straight. My tyres are starting to hurt as well, actually, at this point. So this is where it becomes a little bit dicey. How quickly did mine go off completely compared to Brazen's? We know we're going to struggle through here. Rusky has the advantage of all-wheel drive to help save a little bit. It's not going to save turning, though. Here comes Brazen's Porsche. We're at 50%. Now, I'm expecting Brazen's soft tyres to be starting to get around that. They're not far away from that level. Oh, we're going to chase Brazen across the road. It was a bit of a Verstappen move. I don't think it's going to matter. I think Brazen's going to have so much grip in that car, or are the tyres dying? We've helped. Well, we've got Rusky helping us. Brazen's going to take a look into Maggots and Beckett's, but it's a very, very difficult place to make a pass stick through there. We will continue to try and hold this one. Problem is, Brazen has got more straight line speed than me, so no matter how much we hold through here, I don't think it's going to matter. We are going to go all the way across We are going to try and defend this on dying tyres. Here comes Brazen to the outside. Brazen has got there, and I can't do anything about it. I really can't do anything about it. Hordes has come through. My tyres are really crying at this point. We've asked too much of them. We have just asked too much of the Porsche, and I got too brave under brakes, which he can't afford to do through here. Brazen has done it. Hordes is going to get on the podium. Rusky maybe protecting the tyres a little better, or the all-wheel drive has helped. God, my car is gone. It's completely gone at the end. I mean, it was a strategy. It kept us in the fight. I mean, if you'd have forgotten the brakes earlier at the end of the hangar straight, I don't think it was quite working. Yeah, we just couldn't turn in the final couple of corners. We just pushed it too hard. We just killed it too much. Brazen would take victory. Rusky gets second. Horde's third. We just missed out on the podium. Slightly gutted. Ahead of Carguy and Drewski, though. Our strategy kind of worked. The soft mediums, but I just couldn't keep the tyres alive for long enough. Oh, good race. Fun race. Great battle. Great excitement. But, I'm gutted I couldn't get on the podium, but I did very much enjoy the battle and enjoy the race. Now, I'm going to add a little end note, as I don't normally need to do these. The strategy at Brands Hatch was pretty straightforward. However, what I didn't realise at the time, during the race, the strategy at Silverstone was mad. It was actually a lot more complex than I realised. So, of the lead 4 group that we had at the start, we weren't all on the same strategy. Me and Drewski with the Ford GT, we did the same thing. We started on softs, and then we went to mediums to finish the race. Our cars they struggled, but they kept the softs alive for long enough. Carguy with the other of the light barrel Porsches, they started on mediums, and they went to mediums for a second stint. So they did medium, and Rusky's Skyline went medium hard because it chewed through its tyres incredibly. Now, admittedly, obviously the Skyline must be pretty damn fast to be able to make that one work, and also the all-wheel drive helped it in the sort of drizzly, horrible conditions. Not only that, Brazen went medium with their tyres with the Porsche that would go on to take a victory, so that's why their tyres weren't giving up at the end of the race. I think Hordes might have gone medium softs with the Corvette. I'm not completely sure on that one. But the whole front group, almost everyone did something different in that one. So it was nowhere near as clear-cut as I was expecting it to be. We had a whole different bunch of strategies depending on how your car was behaving with the various tyres. Yeah, mine just didn't quite work. The tyres just didn't quite last long enough for me. It was what I did, I think, is the best way I could have done it, realistically. It was probably the best plan I got out of the car, but yeah, we kind of shredded them a little bit too much. But it did make for a really interesting race. Slightly gutted we couldn't see like the tyre type. I will keep maintaining this. It needs to have the tyre type on the sort of leaderboard. Be way more entertaining to be able to see that, because yeah, I didn't realise just how varied and complex the strategy was, because I'm pretty sure the whole top 5, top 6 all did, apart from me and Drewski, everyone did something slightly different with that one. But yeah, it's quite good fun, quite interesting. I like the Porsche, nice car to drive. So yeah, can't complain too much about that. That will be it for this video. If you would like to sign up to take part in the next one of these, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus Community sign-up section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.